I'd call that justice. Looks like your day of reckoning is finally here.
You know what, Stephen? Why don't you just go ahead and push me if you're man enough?
But I am going to break my fingers if you don't relax a little.
All right. I'm thinking maybe I should call her, you know?
Who, Stephanie?
Yes. Warn her that your father's here.
Why? Because he might give her a piece of his mind?
Yes.
He's not a violent man, Eric. Unlike the animal she unleashed on Brooke.
Come in.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Who's this?
Katie, come in. You're always welcome.
I was just wondering if you had seen these.
Oh, my God.
They just hit the newsstands.
Oh, my God.
Jackie M. Breathing life back into Spectra Fashions.
She bought Sally's company?
I take it you didn't know about this?
Yeah, Jackie and I aren't exactly confidants at the moment.
No, I guess not.
What's with the bathtub?
Maybe she wanted to make a splash. Sorry.
Yeah. Or else it's a jab at Eric and me.
Well, you know, I have to give her credit. She's always been a very sharp businesswoman, and look at this. This is a great shot. She's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, our entire PR staff should be pink-slipped, letting her steal your thunder like this. The biggest show of your career is days away, and you should be on the covers, not her.
Well, I hope I didn't ruin anyone's evening. I just thought you should know about this as soon as possible. You can start damage control. Use your own contacts. Come out with a special edition. You can coincide it with the relaunch.
That's right. You had that PR job.
You have a background in public relations?
Well, a girl's got to put chocolate on the table somehow.
Well, this is an emergency, right? And we should hire her immediately.
What do you say, Katie? You interested?
You miss me?
Always, always.
Even with a fashion show of the decade breathing down our necks. Which is why I brought this.
Sushi!
I thought we could eat and work and spend time all at once.
Oh, my brilliant, sexy Logan. Actually, I was thinking about sneaking away on a rendezvous even earlier.
Oh. I'm glad you didn't. My father's back in town.
You expecting him?
No. Donna took it upon herself to tell him everything that happened to me. Courtesy of your mother.
Not that I'm defending her,
I know.
but if one more person comes down on my mother, if that person happens to be your dad...
I know. It could get ugly.
One little shove, and you'd be history, and people would line up to thank me.
Probably, but you haven't got the guts to do it. Look, you've just found out that your daughter was raped. I can see the pain in your eyes, and I'm sorry it happened. I know I bear some responsibility.
Some?
I have apologized and apologized. I had no idea what that man would do. I am so sorry.
Well, it's a little late for that, isn't it?
Stephen, look, all I'm trying to do...
All your excuses and your so-called regrets don't mean a damn thing to me, Stephanie. The damage is already done. I could wring your neck right now, and I wouldn't feel a thing.
I'm sure. I know you're angry, but what good does it do to take the anger out on me? I'm just trying to get you to understand.
Don't you dare try and tell me that you care for Brooke or any of us Logans. Year after year, she suffered because of you. You even tried to take her children. Now, I may not live in L.A. anymore, but I think about my girls all the time. I want them to be healthy and happy. And then I remember you're here, and you're out to destroy them.
I was wrong in my judgment, Stephen. I admit that. But if we're going to stand here and talk about wrongdoing, let's face the damage that Brooke has done to me, to my family, to the men in my family over the years. And no matter what has happened to her, as terrible as it is, it will never erase that. Never.
Why do they call this a caterpillar roll anyway? I'm assuming there aren't little bits of caterpillar in here, are there? Hello?
Sorry.
I was expecting a little more response than that, maybe a swat.
I can't stop thinking about my dad.
How was it talking to him?
Felt positive, in a way.
Yeah?
Well, I know he hasn't really been there for us when we needed him, but he is still my father.
So maybe Donna's meddling actually did some good.
If only she would listen to what I want. She's on this one-woman crusade to avenge the Logans from Stephanie's injustices. I just don't see what good that will do. I wish she would just leave me out of it and stop stirring the pot.
Really blows me away.
What?
If anyone had the right to be bitter, but you're not bitter.
Why dwell on the bad when you have so much good to look forward to?
Whoa, instant interview.
Well, you have been looking, haven't you?
A little. I didn't realize there was an opening here.
Well, there wasn't until you brought these two magazines in here. And clearly our publicity department could use some stirring up.
So, when can you start?
Whoa, hang on a second.
Yeah, hold that thought. Yes, Molly. All right, I'll be right out. I want your answer when I come back.
Katie, why would you even hesitate? I mean, talk about a plum job. Not to mention how great it would be, all three sisters working together. And it's obvious we need your expertise.
Are you sure you don't just need warm bodies to back you and Eric up? I mean, I know Felicia and Thorne aren't too thrilled that you're seeing him.
And neither are you. So how can you even ask if I have an ulterior motive?
Because you always have an ulterior motive, and you've been lobbing torpedoes at Stephanie and Nick and Dad, never mind what Brooke thinks.
Look, our father had a right to know what that woman did to her. And now he does. Thank God. I'm sure he'll stand up to her.
The men in your life turned to Brooke for love because they never felt it from you. You've always been threatened by that, Stephanie, and you still are.
You know what the truth is, Stephen? You were a lousy father. And as a result, Brooke has had real issues with every single man in her life. You abandoned Brooke just like you abandoned Beth and the other children.
Beth and I were in love before you got mixed up in our lives. We were high school sweethearts. She wore this class ring of mine for years. And our troubles began with you and Eric. If it hadn't been for you two, we still would have been happy.
You walked out on your family.
Any mistakes I've made, I've acknowledged.
Yeah, well, too little too late, Stephen. And now you come barging in here like the big protector, trying to raise your self-respect in their eyes? Good luck on that.
I see what you're doing, and it's not going to work. You're not going to make this about me.
Stephen! I sent the wrong man to see Brooke. Should I have checked him out? Yes, I should have. But that's one little mistake compared to a whole lifetime of failures with your children on your part.
If I failed my kids, it's only because of you.
Oh, of course, because of me. Oh, sure, right. And every other Manny, Mo, and Jack, right? Come on, take some responsibility. You abandoned your family because in your own mind you couldn't be compared to Eric. You never thought you'd make enough success, enough money. So you tucked your tail and you ran. You abandoned, you left your children. Your girls have always gone after older father figures because you were never there. I mean, isn't that what's going on really here with Donna and Eric?
Donna and Eric.
You didn't know? Oh, yeah. Well, after Thorne wised up to her, she set her sights on my husband. She's sleeping with Eric. Doesn't take too long, does it, for your girls to get right at it?